All right, and so today we're going to do a 15-minute flow that's designed to really improve joint mobility. So if you have arthritis, it's going to really help not only reduce pain, but also improve range of motion of your joints to help with daily function. All right, and so there's some research that I wanted to share with you real quick. All right, so the first one is on arthritis. So osteoarthritis. All right, so basically, actually, let me back it up. There's two types of arthritis in general. There's osteoarthritis, which you can think of osteo as the bones, and then rheumatoid arthritis. And so that's an autoimmune disease. All right, so osteoarthritis usually happens as we age. The joints get kind of wear and tear. The joint space gets smaller. We start to get buildup of the bones. Sometimes they call them bone spurs. And we actually have less fluid in the joint in a bad way. And so within the joints, we have what's called synovial fluid. And this fluid is what gives our joints nutrition. All right, so the best way to stimulate more fluid or synovial fluid in the joints is through gentle circular motions and Tai Chi. All right, and so the research shows that Tai Chi reduces pain and improves physical function, self-efficacy, depression, and health-related quality of life for people, especially with knee osteoarthritis. Right, so if you have knee issues, this is going to really help. But there's other research that shows that it helps pretty much with all kinds of arthritis. This one was from the Journal of, let's see, the Arthritis, the Journal of Rheumatoid Arthritis. But it did talk about osteoarthritis as well. So they looked at that. And then they also found, let's see, yes, that was for knee osteoarthritis. And then they also looked at rheumatoid arthritis. All right, so they found that with a 12-week study, they found that it helped to improve balance, which is really important, especially if you have osteoarthritis or osteoporosis or rheumatoid arthritis, because if you fall, then you're more likely to fracture a bone or break a bone. All right, so Tai Chi is going to help prevent that by improving your balance and reducing fall risk. All right, it also helps to lessen pain during exercise and during daily life. All right, so it not only helps during the session, but also afterwards. All right, and then there was one other one on rheumatoid arthritis that shows that it not only does Tai Chi not exacerbate symptoms, so it's one exercise modality that you pretty much can worry about it not making things worse, if only, or at the least, it'll probably make it better for most people. But it also helps to increase lower extremity range of motion. All right, so it's going to help you, especially with your ankles. So ankles are so important for balance as well. So it's going to help with range of motion, balance, and reducing pain. So all these things really happen, especially over time. So Tai Chi has a cumulative effect. So most of these studies, as I mentioned, they go about 12 weeks. So you got to really stick with it for at least a few months to see if it's going to help. Of course, if for some reason it doesn't feel right for you, then there's other things you could try. But in my opinion, Tai Chi, I think, is one of the best things you can do for arthritis because it's gentle enough to where you probably won't get injured, but it's effective enough to do all of those benefits that we just talked about. All right, and we actually do a joint circle routine sometimes in our classes, and so today I'm going to share that with you. We're going to go through all the joints to make sure all of them get that lubrication so that you can heal all your joints, no matter which type of arthritis you have. All right, so it'll help either condition, and then after the joint circle routine, we'll do our Tai Chi Flow. All right, does that sound okay? Awesome. All right, and then so, oh, by the way, if you're new to our community, please register for the new member webinar. It's this Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's via Zoom, so you have to register in order to attend. So click on the link in the video description, and you can register for free. It's at 10:30 a.m. this Saturday, Eastern Time US, but if you register, I'll send you the replay afterwards, which will be good for 48 hours. All right, and then also in the video description of this video, there's also a webinar replay already there for you, and that is for our Tai Chi teacher training preview. So if you're wanting to share this practice with others, or you just want to deepen your own practice, even if you don't want to teach, then you can still take our teacher training. It's called Level 1, the Crane. All right, and so you can watch that free webinar. It gives you all the information about it, and then also below the video, it's all pretty much written out for you, all the information as well, including FAQs, pricing, and all that stuff. So, All right, but remember, you can come to the free class. We have a free class every Tuesday in the Facebook group. We also stream to our YouTube channel, the same class, so you can do either one. And so you can come to that as many times as you want. There's no limit, all right? And we have a new one every week, all right? So that way this practice can be accessible to everyone and no one is denied. All right. So without further ado, find a place where you can do some mindful movement. We'll start off with the joint circle routine. All right, so as I mentioned, we'll start off with the joint circle routine. All right, this is great for people with arthritis or if you want to prevent it. All right, so it's really good. We're gonna lubricate all the joints, starting with our ankles, and we'll work our way all the way up the body. All right, and so we can start off with the feet about shoulder width apart. You can actually do this sitting down too if you want. It's a little easier standing, but if you want, you can sit down at any time. And if any of these movements bother you, you can skip them or just do very small motions. All right, but we'll start with the ankles, so the feet about shoulder width apart, and then begin to shift all your weight over to one side, coming on the ball of the foot, and then rotate the ankle in a circle. All right, we'll do about 5 circles one way, and then 5 the other. So very simple, but very effective. All right, and then switching sides. Coming on the ball of the foot, rotating the ankle, loosening up the joints. It's great to do every day, especially in the morning, then reverse direction. But as many of you know, I'm also a physical therapist, and I've shown this to hundreds of patients, and many of them have told me that out of all the things I showed them, this was the best, all these joint circle motions here. So. All right, next we'll do the knees. So spread the feet a little bit wider apart, and for the knees, we'll do the mini squat. All right, now I'll show you from the side because the key to the mini squat is to hinge from the hips. So send the hips back and then come back up. All right, you can bring the arms up too for balance if you like. All right, what you don't want to do is come forward. That puts all the stress on your knees. So instead, send your hips back like you're gonna sit in a chair. All right, that'll protect your knees and it'll help keep your back nice and straight or neutral so that you don't stress the back as well. We're loading up the muscles, strengthening the legs, loosening the knees. All right, you can do 5 to 10 mini squats, and you don't have to go very low, just enough to loosen up the joints and strengthen the legs. All right, one more time, the mini squat. All right, next we'll do the hips. So place your hands on your hips, then begin to rotate your pelvis in a circle. So rotating small circles at first. And if it feels okay, you can make them a little bit bigger, but we're not trying to set any records today. We're just loosening up the joints. All right, and then reverse direction. All right, very nice. Next, we'll do the spine. So bring the arms out in front, making 2 loose fists. The forearms come towards each other as you round the back. And then reverse direction, the arms go out to the sides as you open the shoulders and chest. So breathing out as you round, breathing in as you open, or you can take as many breaths as you need. We call this spinal cord breathing. This one's a Qigong movement. And so Qigong means energy exercise. And it's basically what Tai Chi came from. It's like the simpler version of Tai Chi. All right, one more time, like a good morning stretch, and then let the arms float down by the sides. And then begin to slide this hand right down the thigh, doing a side bend, but just going a little at first, and then going to the other side. You can always do more the next time, but once you've gone too far, you can't really take it back. So just go easy, one more time. And then we'll do rotation. So begin to turn from the waist, the torso, and the shoulders, coming back to center, and then turning the other way. You don't have to turn very far. Especially with stretching, less is more. One more time, nice and gentle. All right, next we'll do the shoulders. So lift the shoulders up towards the ears and then let them fall back and down. So big circular motions with the shoulders. This helps release tension from the neck, the upper back, and the shoulders. This one's great to do every day, especially if you're on the computer a lot. Just taking every maybe 30 minutes or so, just taking a few seconds to just loosen things up, to release tension and stress. And being mindful. All right, next we'll do the elbows, so hold the arms out to the side, palms facing up. The hands float all the way up and over, and then down the center line of the body, and then back out to the side. So this one's very similar to a movement we like to do called sinking the chi. Only we hold the arms up a little bit higher for most of the time instead of letting them fall all the way down. But you can always just let them drop down too. You'll still get the elbows. But you can hold the arms up a little bit, and that really focuses on the elbows even more. All right, one more time. Loosening up the elbows. And then you can let the arms float down, so they might be getting tired by now for some of you. So if you want, you can shake them out if you like. And then when you're ready, hold the arms out in front and then begin to rotate the hands, the wrists, and the fingers. And just think about all that your hands do for you. And then how much do you stretch them? Probably not a whole lot, right? All right, so this is a great way to just very easily loosen up the joints. You can reverse direction. It's really good for carpal tunnel syndrome if you have that or if you want to prevent it. All right, one more time, loosening up the hands, the wrists, and the fingers. And then let the arms float down. And then very gently begin to turn your head towards one side and then toward the other. And once again, you don't have to turn very far, just enough to loosen up the joints. One more time. And then we'll go up and down, but if you have vertigo or you know this makes you feel dizzy, then you can skip it, or you can do very small motions, or at least hold on to something for balance. But if it feels okay, you can very gently begin to look up and down, loosening up the neck. All right, one more time. And now for my favorite exercise of all time, the chin tuck. All right, so I'll show you from the side, because the key to the chin tuck is to keep your eyes on the horizon and very gently draw your chin in towards your neck. And then release. So gently draw in and then soften. All right, it's almost like you're talking to someone and they're really close and they have bad breath and you're just trying to back away a little bit. All right, one more time, the chin tuck. All right, so now that we've loosened up all the joints and realigned the spine, we'll do our Tai Chi Flow. So with this sequence, you don't have to get it perfect. Just follow along the best you can. I'll be your mirror image. You can have a seat at any time, and if you like, you can even continue to follow along with the upper body sitting in a chair. That way you can still stay in the flow and get all the benefits of Tai Chi. All right, we'll begin with the feet together or as close as you can. The hands can come to the lower abdomen, and then just taking a few deep breaths in and out. As you breathe in, the belly expands, and as you breathe out, the belly returns toward the spine, abdominal breathing. Just tuning into the body, coming into the present moment. Just letting go of all the worries from the day. And then on the next inhale, you can hold the breath at the top just for a moment, and then let it out with a big sigh. Just letting out tension and stress. And the hands can float down by the sides. And as you breathe in, the arms float up. They circle in front as if you're gathering in energy, bringing it in towards the heart, and then send it down towards the earth, sinking the chi. Breathing in, breathing out. Really feeling into the body, bringing mindfulness to the body. One more time, sink the chi. And then step one foot out to the side, either foot. The arms float up in front. Then the arms get heavy, floating down, the knees and hips soften. Breathing in, rising up. Breathing out, softening down. Like mist rising from the lake, and then floating down like a gentle rain. We call this opening the door, the start of the journey. And then this time you can even lift your heels as you rise up, coming on the balls of your feet. And then coming down, the toes lift gently. Rising up, once again, you can lift your heels if you like, or you can keep them down. Lifting the toes as the hands come down. One more time. Strengthening the ankles, improving the balance. And then this time the hands float up in front, draw the hands in towards the heart as you step in, and then step out to the corner as you push forwards in space. Draw the hands back in, shifting back, and then pushing forwards, pushing the mountain. Breathing in, breathing out, nice and easy, nice and slow. One more time, pushing the mountain. And then this time the arms float up. They come all the way up and over, draping the coat over your shoulder, and then pushing back out to the corner. Breathing in, rising up, draping the coat, and then pushing through. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, draping the coat. And then step the front foot back in. The hands come back in towards the heart. Shift the weight as you step in, and then step out to the other corner as you push the mountain. Once again, tuning into the body, taking your time, no rush, nowhere to go. How mindful can you be? Just feeling the sensations, noticing whatever arises. One more time, pushing the mountain. And then this time the hands float up. They come all the way over as you drape the coat over your shoulder, and then push it on through to the corner. Breathing in, breathing out, opening the shoulders, lubricating the joints. All right, one more time, draping the coat. And then step the front foot back in. This time, hug the tree and soften. From here, the arms open up wide. The hands float down. The fingertips point up. They float all the way up and over and then spiral out and away from each other. Silk railing, upward spirals. Breathing in as you rise up. Breathing out, floating down. Once again, opening the shoulders and chest. Decompressing the spine. Circulating the energy and the blood flow throughout the body. One more time, silk railing, upward spirals. And then we'll reverse direction. The arms float all the way up and over, the fingertips point down, coming down the center, and then spiral out and away. Silk railing, downward spirals, rising up, floating down. Breathing in, breathing out, and once again, take as many breaths as you need. Just keep on breathing. One more time, silk railing, downward spirals. And then circle around and hug the tree and soften. From here, both arms drift over to the side, floating down, and then just drifting side to side, like tall grass in the breeze, a nice gentle sway, soothing the nervous system, creating relaxation and peace. Also giving your arms a little break. You can do this at any point during the flow. And then shift all your weight over to one side, tap the heel right out in front, like you're testing out the water. Then bring it back in, shift the weight, other side, tap the heel. All right, this time, tap the heel, the hand comes over the foot. Other side, tap the heel, the hand comes over the foot. This time, hand over the foot, other hand in front of the heart, playing the pipa, the Chinese guitar. Other side, tap the heel, the hands come right out in front. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, play the pipa. And then step the foot back in, hug the tree. Step one foot out a little bit wider. And then from here, the arms open wide, the wrists cross down low. And then as you rise up, the arms open overhead, floating all the way out and down. Gathering the energy from the earth, giving it back to the sky above. Harmonizing yin and yang, creating balance and harmony in the body and mind. And just coming down as much as you can comfortably, just letting go of striving. Just being here is enough. One more time, harmonizing yin and yang. And then reverse direction with the arms, circle in front, hug the tree. Step one foot in a little bit closer. And then from here, the arms open wide. Then this hand here scoops under, step in as you catch the moon. And then the top hand goes behind the back, just for now. Step out to the corner. The bottom hand guides the moon into the clouds. And then circle it around again. Toss away, as if you could toss the moon. This time the other hand comes back on top. Catch the moon. The bottom hand floats up, the other hand pushes down, parting the wild horse's mane. And as always, don't worry about getting it perfect. Just keep on moving. One more time. This time, bottom hand comes up, the wrists cross. The arms float down as you circle out and around and then back up top. The princess on the mountaintop. Breathing in, open. Breathing out. Circling it around. Once again, opening the shoulders and chests, sending energy to the heart and lungs. Giving the immune system a little boost. And then step the front foot back in, hug the tree, and soften. The arms open. Then this hand here scoops under, step in as you catch the moon. Top hand goes away just for now. Step out to the corner, bottom hand guides the moon into the clouds. Circle it around again, toss away. This time the other hand comes back on top. Bottom hand floats up, the other hand floats down. Parting the horse's mane, creating tranquility out of chaos. Creating inner peace. Just learning to slow down. One more time, parting the horse's mane. This time, bottom hand comes up, the wrists cross. The arms float down, circling out and around, back up top. Coming up to the mountain peak. And just coming up as much as you can comfortably, as always. Just never forcing it, just easing in one more time. The princess on the mountaintop. And then step the front foot back in, hug the tree. From here, the arms open wide. This hand here drops down and drifts over to the other side. The hands switch positions, and then they float across like clouds in the sky. The hands switch again. Wave hands like clouds. Softening the shoulders, softening the neck. Using only what you need. As we learn to move like nature with effortless ease. Connected with nature. Connected with each other. As we share this practice together. One more time, wave hands like clouds. And then both arms float down, drifting up to shoulder height. Taking your time, other side. And then from here, this hand scoops down and comes right out in front, just to about eye level, and then down. And we'll do the same side again, just the arms at first. taking your time, no rush. The other hand by the hip, and then down. All right, this time if you want, you can lift your leg, touching down as needed. The rooster stands on one leg. Once again, touching down or lifting up, just meeting yourself where you're at. You can always go forward from there. One more time on this side, the rooster stands on one leg. And then the arms drift over to the other side. Once again, taking your time, drifting up. And then this hand scoops down and comes right out in front to eye level and then down. Once again, just the arms, breathing. And then this time you can lift your leg if you like, touching down as needed, letting go of judgment the best you can, or just noticing as it arises. It should go away all on its own, eventually. This time you can lift up if you want. And then one more time, the rooster stands on one leg. And circle all the way around, hug the tree right out in front. I love the hugs. And the arms open wide, the hands float down, the backs of the hands face each other. They float up the midline of the body and then drift out to the sides, the fountain. Breathing in, rising up. Breathing out, letting go. So we learn to move like water, soft but powerful. Breathing in, rising up. Breathing out, letting go. One more time, the fountain. This time the palms face up, one hand on top of the other, right by the lower abdomen. And then this hand floats all the way up and over, down the center line of the body. Other side, breathe in as the hand floats up. Breathing out, centering. Calming the heart, calming the mind. One more time, centering. This time, both arms float all the way up and over just as much as you can. The hands float down to the waist as you soften the hips and the knees. And circle the hands in front as if you had a big ball in front of the body, scooping all the way around and under, back up to the heart, and down. One more time, open the heart, rising up, softening down. This time, making a diamond shape with the hands right in front of the heart, and then press out, sending out all your loving kindness to the world. May all beings be free from suffering. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. And then turning your palms to face yourself, the hands come to the heart. May I be kind to myself. May I feel connected with all beings. May I love myself just as I am. And then the hands can float down to the lower abdomen. You can step your feet together or as close as you can. You can close your eyes or keep a soft gaze, letting your body rock and sway ever so slightly. Bamboo in the wind. Just feeling the gentle rocking motion in the body and any sensations that arise. Feel the body breathing. And then bring your attention into your heart, creating an inner smile, and maybe an outer one as well. Expressing gratitude to yourself for being here today. And then if your eyes were closed, you can slowly open them. The hands can come together in front of the heart, and we can finish with a bow. All right, thank you all so much for joining me for this Tai Chi Flow. All right, so as always, I'd love to hear how you're feeling right now. So tune into your body, notice how you're feeling, and then type in the comments how you're feeling. I'd love to hear about it. And then stick around for a few more, because I'm feeling kind of this calling to share a little flute music with you today too. So if you want to hear a little of the Native American flute, I'm warming up for the in-person workshop we have tomorrow here in Asheville. So I got to warm up my flutes a little bit. So, yeah. And so if you want to stick around for a few more, and I also have a poem that I wanted to share with you as well. All right. And feel free to type any questions in there too. I know someone had a question about, I think, the statements that we say. So I'll comment with the phrases that we use. It's called loving kindness or metta, where we send out loving kindness to the world and to others. And then self-compassion is so important that most people skip over, is give ourselves that same love that we deserve. All right, it's transformative for sure. I know, and it has been for me, and many of my students tell me the same. So that alone is going to be worth coming, is to practice that. But of course, the mindful movement does so much for the joints, as we mentioned, for the nervous system, for the brain, to reduce pain, reduce stress. I almost want to say it has it all, but it's really, so what I found though is that there's no system that is perfect, but there are many that are helpful. And so I find this one to be helpful. And I like that because I'm always saying you don't have to be perfect. So I think that's a good way to put it. It's very helpful for many. So, all right, well, first I wanted to share a little song with you that I'm just going to kind of do a little riff, I guess. But so I'm going to use this Native American flute that I have. This is my favorite one. It's actually the crane. So that kind of represents, I like this because that's the name of our teacher training, Level 1, the crane. And so this one has a lot of special meaning to me. It's a Native American flute. It's made of aromatic cedar wood. And it's got some, I think they call them inlays. So they're turquoise. So in Native American culture, it's very meaningful to have turquoise, very spiritual, and they have some nice carvings in here too, but it's really just a nice smoothing sound. And this is in the key of E, and this is a bass flute. It's the, so it's considered like kind of the higher end of the bass flutes that I have. So, all right, so we'll do a little song. Hopefully you can hear okay. We'll have to see how it sounds after. So I'm always nervous because I don't know how it sounds with the mic, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, I just realized the music's still on though. There we go. We'll start over. All right, there we have the Native American flute. Hopefully it sounded okay. All right, so yeah, we're having our in-person workshop tomorrow. I'm really excited. It's here in Asheville. It's a 3-day event. So hopefully you can make the next one if you're not going to be able to make it this week. But we have a nice group of people coming, and we're going to do I'm going to play lots of flutes. I have about 12 different flutes, so we're going to play a lot of those too, and lots of other great surprises for you that are coming. So I love getting to connect with you all in person. So hopefully you can make the next one. We had a great group last year too when we did it. So yeah. All right. Well, I do have a poem I wanted to share too. That's just kind of impromptu, but I did have a poem that I planned. All right, so stick around for a few more. All right, I always feel so invigorated after playing, so it's actually not too hard to play either. It took me like maybe a week, and I was going up and down the scale, and so I recommend that if you wanted to look into the native flute, it's probably I think one of the easiest, or it's a relatively easier instrument to learn. It's not like the metal flutes where it's like, I could never get those, so. All right, so this poem is from John O'Donohue. It's called For a New Beginning. In out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you are ready to emerge. For a long time it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness grow inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety, in the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight, when your courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you.